Hey, welcome back. So we are just getting ready to leave our campsite in Jackson, Mississippi today. And leading up to this, last night and this morning, I did some research and planning on just what our trip is going to look like today. We're going up to Hot Springs, Arkansas. Very excited to check that whole area out in the national park and whatnot. Looking at the campsite reviews, though, they mention, hey, big rigs beware, tight turns, lots of hills. So I must have missed that when I booked this site, because I tried to do my due diligence when booking. But well, here we are. We're gonna go check it out and see if we can maneuver around Hot Springs, Arkansas. We're a 42-foot fifth wheel here, so we are well within the classification of big rigs. So let's go. Just like that, we made it. All backed in, parked up. We did not have a problem. Granted, we're like the very first site, but like the staff here helped park us, and they actually do that for everybody. That's kind of a cool thing they do. They like, upon arrival, one of their staff will escort you to the site and actually like guide you in. That guy that helped me was awesome. So yeah, like, had I listened to the reviews of this this campground, I might not have booked it. I might have like looked somewhere else, because it was like, big rigs, have caution, you know, really tight turns, fully grown trees. I might have moved elsewhere, which would have been a shame, because actually it's a really good place, and we're so close to the pool. Canyon, can like look out the front window and see like, are there kids over there playing? All right, I'm in. I think it's gonna be a good week. I think it's gonna be a good week. Starting this week with optimism. You know, we've been through the trenches a little bit with all the maintenance stuff. First thing that I noticed once we got here is that it's not scorching 90 degrees. It's like lower to mid 80s. Humidity is tolerable. I'm just filled with optimism. We got our trailer brakes fixed before we left our last place, so that's making me feel good. Yeah, we're doing good.
3, 2, 1.
All right, homemade rocket launcher. Hot Springs, Arkansas, kind of an interesting place. I didn't really know that much about it before booking it. I saw that there was a national park here, and Hot Springs kind of has an interesting sound to it, so like, sure, let's check that out. There are these natural springs out of the earth that are hot, and it's actually legitimately hot. Like, I could barely put my hand in the water. Like, it's really, really hot. But this area, I think in the 20s, started building these like bathhouses. People of all kinds of notoriety and fame would come and actually like bathe, where the water is mineral enriched and naturally warm, and they're still operational. There's still some bathhouses operational, but some they've turned into a museum, which is kind of interesting to just learn. The area kind of has this a little bit of a touristy vibe to it though. Like, so we're from the Midwest, and so like Gatlinburg was kind of our regional tourist spot. And it kind of feels like a little bit like Gatlinburg. Like any town that has a wax museum, I think you're in a little bit of tourism area. We also have a new friend that's joined our campsite by means of Black Cat. We're historically not cat people. No offense to people who like cats. There's a place in the world for you, just not in our RV. But some random cats roaming around the campground, and so Jamie and Canyon set some food and water out for it, and it was gobbling it up. So we've got that new friend with us. We're going fishing. Got our fishing pole. Canyon is on a mission to find the best donuts in the United States. So far, what's the status?
Mississippi?
Yep. Mississippi. Pillow Donuts from Mississippi is currently our leading favorite, but here we are in Hot Springs, Arkansas at Golden Raised Donuts, or as Canyon puts it, Golden or Raised Donuts.
There's an O in there.
All right, let's see what they got.
You taste it, it's good. 1 second after you buy them, and loses flavor, and it has a terrible aftertaste.
Well, that doesn't sound like an 11. That sounds like maybe not even a 9. Maybe 7.
Eight.
8. All right, there you go. 8. Not the greatest. It's still a donut. All right. I'm really thankful this week for my internet setup. So just as a recap, I have a router that I made that takes multiple internet connections in and combines them into one super internet connection, or redundant. And the sources that I have are T-Mobile Home Internet, Starlink, and then I can connect up to the campground Wi-Fi or tethering off of my phone, and then rebroadcast a combination of those internet connections into Wi-Fi and wired internet for everything in the RV. So our campsite this week is really wooded, bunch of trees. I'm throwing no shade at that, but as a result, Starlink is a no-go. But because I also have T-Mobile home internet, I'm able to throw that up, and literally we're almost in the shadows of a cell phone tower here. Like running a speed test this week on internet in the RV, I'm getting like 400, 500 down, 50 up. It's faster than the internet I had at the, Sticks and Bricks back in Indiana. I'm thankful for all of the planning, and, it costs more to have like both T-Mobile home internet and Starlink, but the work that I do is dependent on having really good internet, and so it's a must-have in my book. Remember that part in Jurassic Park where like there's that dinosaur that, like, no matter where the guy turned, the dinosaur was always right there? That's this cat. It's literally like anywhere that we turn, it is right there with us. If I go on the back side of the RV, it's over there. As soon as we walk outside, it's there. I was sitting in the chair and it's like batting at my hair. It's pulling. I was like, geez, cat. Or I'm not even friends. I'm not the one giving you food and water. I feel like I'm gonna get in the truck and the cat's gonna be in the passenger seat and the side of the dinosaur wings are gonna come out and spit something at me. This has been a great week. Like, this week to me has felt like more on target of what I expected RV life to be. The temperature has been very comfortable. There hasn't been anything going dramatically wrong with the RV, so I feel like I need to clarify some things. Before purchasing the RV, I mean, that's a significant investment. I had a third-party RV tech come in and do a very thorough, basically home inspection on the RV. And I got back, I'm not kidding, like a 250-page PDF, photos and details, like really in depth. And none of the problems that we've had thus far surfaced on that. And in fact, before leaving for RV life, I mean, we camped in the camper like a couple times and never, had these issues. The brakes were definitely working, didn't have any leaks. And so, I think these are things that just kind of happen. I mean, every time we move the RV, it's like an earthquake to the house going down the road and bumping. And so, like, we've got a very detailed checklist of all the different things that we need to secure and whatnot before we travel. So, I don't know. I think we're all right. I think that's just the way that things go. So if you've watched our videos, you know that we like to visit museums. And today we checked out the Museum of Discovery in Little Rock, Arkansas. And this might be one of, top 10? It's not a big museum, but every single station that you go to is incredible, and very hands-on. Every station, Canyon was intrigued, interested. It was awesome to check out. And even though it's not that big, we spent well over 2 hours here. Of course, it's part of the ASTC passport program, so admission was free as usual.
So since she is a bigger snake, she is gonna get a bigger food item. Now she's got her mouth kind of occupied. Let me see if I can slowly get her tail out. Right around her cloaca. These guys will tend to have leftover tiny little legs. They're not really legs. They're more.
No, this one. This one. This one. Doesn't work. I'm stuck.
Together, and it is going to make elephants.
If you're in Little Rock, I highly recommend checking out the Museum of Discovery. It is worth a visit. Campground told us something a little sad. people in the vicinity here will just drive up to the campground and just ditch their pets. Like if they don't want their, dogs or cats, they'll just come and, throw them out the door here at the campground and drive off. So the campground is thinking that's probably where the kitten came from. They said like 2 or 3 weeks ago that somebody just, dropped off a puppy, and a random puppy was laying around. That week, the puppy kind of became the campground mascot and was like hanging out in the office behind the desk, well behaved and all that. When that happens, the campground will post up on Facebook and say, free puppy or whatever, and try to find a home for it. With the puppy, once they had done that, they found somebody in the area to take it in. And the next day, all of the wives of the campers that week came in and said, my husband said that we could keep it. We'll take the puppy. Sorry, it's gone. So we're not taking the cat with us. The campground came and kind of picked it up, and we haven't seen it. So hopefully it made it to a good home. Kane's already a little sad because of that. It was cute, I'll give it that, but no cats for us. So the cool thing about Hot Springs is that they have these water refill stations where you can fill your water bottles with water that is from the thermal springs.
However,
It's super.
The water is very, very hot, and I might just drink out of it, just refill. It is very hot.
It is quite warm. It's so we've been filling up our water bottles and putting them in the fridge back in the RV, and I like the taste of the water. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Arkansas. This was the best week yet of RV life. Didn't have any major maintenance stuff this week. We got to relax, got to check out the national park in Hot Springs, Little Rock, awesome. Yeah, this was the week that, I don't know, for me feels like this is good. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great week yourself. Thanks for the comments, like, subscribe, all the YouTube things, and we'll see you in the next video.